Hi everyone,
I hope you are all doing well.
and I truly wish goodness and peace for all of you today. I'm Zaid, and today we will explore a fascinating topic, the bicycle's hidden social revolution. When we look at a simple bicycle, it may seem like nothing more than a tool for travel, a way to move from one place to another, or just a source of leisure. But the story of the bicycle is far deeper. It reshaped society, redefined gender roles, empowered workers, and even played an unseen role in political and cultural changes. The earliest form of the bicycle, known as the draisine or running machine, was invented in 1817 by Baron Karl von Drais in Germany. It had no pedals, just two wheels connected by a wooden frame, and people pushed themselves forward with their feet. At that time, it was seen as a curious invention,
Not a revolution.
but progress followed quickly. By the 1860s, French innovators added pedals to the front wheel, creating the velocipede. It was heavy, shaky, and earned the nickname the Bone Shaker because of how rough the ride felt on cobblestone streets. Still, it was a step toward freedom of movement. The true breakthrough came in the 1880s with the invention of the safety bicycle. It had equal-sized wheels, a chain drive,
And rubber tires.
Suddenly riding became safer, smoother, and accessible to people from all walks of life. This design is the ancestor of the bicycles we use today. But what made bicycles truly revolutionary was not just their engineering, it was the way they changed lives. For the first time, ordinary people had an affordable personal means of travel. A worker could ride miles to a factory. A farmer's child could attend a school in a distant town. And for women, bicycles became a symbol of independence and new social freedom. Before we move to our today, I want to say that this channel is user-friendly.
No offensive content. No misinformation.
We explain things with respect, curiosity, and authenticity. The bicycle's story is not only about mechanics.
It's about liberation. And in the next part,
We'll dive into how bicycles disrupted the class system and challenged old traditions in ways few expected. The bicycle quickly became more than just a machine for transport. In the late 19th century, as industrial cities expanded, crowded streets filled with carriages and horses, but bicycles offered people a cleaner, quieter, and more affordable way to move through the city. Unlike trains or carriages, the bicycle gave independence. You did not need a fixed schedule, nor did you rely on expensive tickets. For the first time in history, ordinary men and women could travel several miles on their own, without spending a fortune. This independence carried powerful social meaning. Working-class citizens, who were often tied to their factory neighborhoods, suddenly found new opportunities. They could work farther away,
meet people outside their own districts.
and connect with ideas circulating in newspapers and cafes from one town to another. Women, in particular, experienced one of the biggest changes. During the 1880s and 1890s, when the safety bicycle, with equal-sized wheels and chain drive, replaced the dangerous high-wheeler, women could finally ride without excessive risk. This had direct links to clothing reform. Long skirts and corsets were not practical for cycling, so new fashions emerged. Divided skirts, bloomers, and lighter garments that allowed freer movement. This change was more than fashion. It was symbolic freedom. Cycling meant women could move without male escorts, explore public spaces, and take part in activities that had previously been restricted. The famous American suffragist, Susan B. Anthony,
Once remarked that the bicycle had done more to emancipate women than anything else in the world.
she was not exaggerating. In Europe and America alike, the sight of women on bicycles challenged old social rules. Meanwhile, bicycles reshaped rural life too. Farmers and villagers no longer relied only on carts. They could visit nearby towns, sell products in new markets, and bring back goods more efficiently. Young people especially embraced it. The bicycle was affordable. a mark of independence, and in many cases,
A new way of socializing.
cycling clubs appeared, races were organized, and communities bonded.
Over this shared culture of motion,
By the turn of the 20th century,
millions of bicycles were in circulation.
but beyond numbers, what mattered most was how they rebalanced society. Freedom of movement, access to opportunities, and cultural connection were no longer privileges limited to the wealthy elite. The bicycle was quietly rewriting
How people related.
to space, to time, and even to each other. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw bicycles transform not just personal life, but also broader social structures. One remarkable impact was in urban planning. Before bicycles, most cities were shaped for horse-drawn traffic and short walking distances. But the bicycle introduced a demand for smoother, wider roads. In fact, early cycling organizations like the League of American Wheelmen in the United States actively campaigned for paved streets decades before automobiles became common. So when we see modern city roads, we often forget that bicycles played a huge role in convincing governments to invest in better surfaces. Another hidden story lies in the field of medicine and health. Doctors in the late 1800s began recommending bicycles as a form of light exercise. It helped patients recover from illnesses and was seen as a tool to fight sedentary habits of city life. Newspapers even carried medical columns, praising cycling as a wheel of health, linking it to heart strength and endurance. This was revolutionary, because it was one of the earliest moments when exercise became part of popular daily life, not just something reserved for soldiers or athletes. Economically, bicycles opened new doors. Workers who could not afford horses or carriages suddenly had access to cheap personal mobility. A bicycle meant you could live farther from a factory, take a better job in another town, or deliver goods more efficiently. Many small businesses used bicycles for courier services, spreading messages and packages quickly in crowded streets. This laid groundwork for modern delivery culture, long before motor vehicles. Interestingly, bicycles also influenced time and discipline. Factories valued workers arriving on time, and bicycles reduced lateness, reshaping expectations around punctuality. Some historians suggest that the regular rhythm of commuting by bicycle helped spread the modern idea of a timed workday. Even in politics, bicycles played their role. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Chinese reformers were seen riding bicycles as symbols of equality and connection with common people. They were practical, affordable, and visually communicated a sense of humility. Thus, bicycles were more than transport. They pushed for better infrastructure, helped medical awareness grow, created new economic opportunities, and even reshaped political imagery. The wheel was simple, but its effects were anything but. As we move closer to the modern era, the story of the bicycle continues to surprise us. By the mid-20th century, bicycles were no longer just tools of social change. They became symbols of freedom and sustainability. In Europe, especially in the Netherlands and Denmark, bicycles remained a preferred mode of transport, even as cars rose in popularity. City planners in Amsterdam and Copenhagen began reshaping urban design to prioritize cyclists, a decision that still defines those cities today. Meanwhile, in Asia, bicycles took on new meaning. In China, by the 1960s and 1970s, bicycles were so widespread that Beijing was often called the Bicycle Kingdom. They became part of everyday culture, linking millions of people with schools, farms, and factories. Even today, China remains one of the largest producers of bicycles, blending tradition with modern industry. The bicycle also contributed to technology transfer. Innovations in chains, gears, ball bearings, and rubber tires directly influenced the development of automobiles and airplanes. The Wright brothers, pioneers of flight, were originally bicycle mechanics. Their precision work on wheels and balance gave them the skills to imagine controlled flight. So in a way, without bicycles, airplanes may have taken much longer to appear. Socially, bicycles continued to challenge norms. They played a part in youth independence during the 1950s, became symbols of environmental activism in the 1970s, and today they represent eco-friendly transport. In an age of climate awareness, bike-sharing programs across the world, from Paris to New York to Singapore, trace their origins back to the simple freedom that bicycles have always offered. So when we look at this invention, we see far more than two wheels and a frame. We see a machine that encouraged equality, empowered women, gave workers new opportunities, inspired urban infrastructure, and even helped humanity dream of flying. The bicycle is not just history, it is living proof that small inventions can reshape the world in lasting, hidden ways. All the information we share comes from verified historical sources, including books like The Mechanical Horse by Margaret Guroff, archival records of the League of American Wheelmen, and documented histories of the Wright brothers' bicycle shop. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Thrones of Knowledge. Press the bell icon so you never miss a new story, and tell us in the comments what invention or history you'd like us to explore next.